Welcome to What the Friday. Dude, what the Friday? What the Friday, everybody. This episode, finally, we're going to be doing some awesome videos regarding wheatgrass, and more importantly, like how to incorporate it into our day-to-day lives. Because I found that the best technique is the one that works for you. I read that somewhere too. I think it's like a quote. But so basically, I've been growing wheatgrass for the past, 6 months. And when I started, it was kind of just an experiment, like a 30-day challenge, see if I could do it. And then the challenge was how to just keep up with it, right? To do it like an everyday thing. So what we're gonna be doing in this episode is showing you certain techniques to ensure success of doing it, right? That's what the Friday, just doing it. It might not be the most ideal situation, but at least it'll give you some alternatives rather than like an all or nothing type deal. There's enough videos online to just show you how to grow basic wheatgrass. There's enough interest. I'm happy to do a video on the way that I grow it, but basically, you're getting, from my experience, the wheatgrass really comes from, you want to make sure to have quality wheatgrass seeds. I think they're called wheatberry seeds. And I started off just getting a kit. I think it's like wheatgrasskits.com. I'll have the information of where I got it. And a kit is really nice to do. When you first get started, it was like 40 bucks or something, and it came with everything. It came with the trays that I still use that are reusable, soil, the instructions, like a booklet, and most importantly, the seeds, and something called azomite, which is kind of like a mineral additive to add to your soil to get those trace minerals. Now, a few things. Once you get the kit and you feel like, wow, this is something I could do, I could continue with, what I would recommend and what I did was I continued to get the wheatgrass seeds from this company. In fact, I got like a huge 5-gallon tub of it. But the soil, I found that just the cost of the soil to ship it I didn't see any difference. So you just go to your local hardware store. So it's kind of like getting the best of only the best that you need in one place, and then kind of getting the rest of the stuff locally. You save money on shipping, and it's kind of like the cost was a little less as well. However, I still got that azomite from the site. There are different ways to grow wheatgrass. You can grow it. I've never done it personally, but I've seen videos on it that you can grow it without soil. However, the way that I recommend, that I have been doing it, is with soil. And the reason why is, one, it just makes sense. It just seems like soil, you're growing things in soil. One, the nutrients, you're getting the trace minerals from the soil into the grass. And also it leaves room for error a little bit. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you forget to water it one day, or if you overwater it, the soil kind of acts as a really good absorbent, especially obviously with the trays that they give you, it'll drip through. Which is also, if you're using those trays, make sure you're using them either outside or in another kind of like aluminum pan or something, so that it will kind of catch the water. Otherwise, you're gonna have a slippery, slidey carpet. Okay, so when I first started growing wheatgrass with these wheatgrass kits, I did it, I did one tray, and then every day I was really excited and I juice it every day. But then I noticed that there would be a lag time. It takes about 7 to 10 days to grow wheatgrass. What I found with the fertilizer, or with the soil, when you do it with the soil, when you cut it halfway, you continue to water it, you'll get another cutting, meaning like it will continue to grow. On this one I haven't really cut yet, so it's kind of really high, and you'll begin to notice a little yellow on the tips. And this still has a few more days, but that yellow sign means it's like, yo, you need to juice me, or you need to do something with me. So, and also if you start noticing the time it takes to grow one tray, it'll pretty much takes the same time to grow 2 trays. So what I started doing was growing, just like with work, right? It's better to answer all your email 1 or 2 times a day, rather than like keep check and refresh on your email, okay? So if you could batch processes in work, why not batch processes in your health? So you start growing like a couple trays at a time, and then you don't have to worry about not having wheatgrass. But then, kind of like kombucha, when you start growing kombucha, like you didn't have anything, and then you start using a continuous brewing, or you start doing a lot at a time, you're like, wow, I got too much kombucha. So now the problem is, too much, making sure that you can do it while it's still fresh. So here are some tips that I've discovered that really helps that out. We did one video on juicing a whole bunch and then putting it in ice cube trays and then putting that in the freezer. Then whenever you want a wheatgrass shot, kind of put the put a ice cube tray of wheatgrass in a cup, a glass, shower, whatever, get ready with your day, and then by the time you're ready, you'll melt and enjoy it then and there. So there's a few other ways to do it, and one way is I found these little, you probably see them for like, ketchup containers or something, or like, when you go to a fast food restaurant, and then the cap. And I've found this way is a lot easier than the ice cube tray because, one, it stores in the refrigerator or freezer. If you're going to keep it in the refrigerator, it'll last up to about a week. And also, because it has a lid on it, you could kind of take it to go. The other thing is, keep in mind, I'm not saying that this is better than fresh wheatgrass. Obviously, if you do fresh wheatgrass every day, awesome. However, it's a question of, I either do fresh wheatgrass every day for 3 days and then give up on it because it's just too much time, or I do fresh wheatgrass, let's say every Sunday morning, my morning routine is to do a whole tray of this stuff and cap a week's worth, 2 weeks worth of this and put it in the refrigerator. After a week, if you still have any left, put them in the freezer. Again, if that's what it takes to get you to do this every day, great. And this way it takes less time. Usually things that are enjoyable to do, that aren't stressful, that are easier, that are more bang for the buck, so to speak, we tend to keep doing. So if you could redo a whole bunch of them in here, that's great. And another tip is, what if I don't enjoy the taste of wheatgrass? So we're gonna solve that right now.